welcome, blockchain boys.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Tell people who aren't familiar with you, tell us what you do.
We do a lot, but if you ever heard of crypto, you know, we delve in that industry a bit. We have a media company called Kryptonite, which is more than a media company, but that's what most people know it as. And this is our CEO, Michael Sessa. We're business partners and co-founders.
Michael Sessa. You introduced yourself to me earlier as what? Just Sessa?
Just Sessa. That's normally
you
what
go
I
by
go
Sessa.
by.
All right, cool.
Team calls me Sessa. Friends call me Sessa. And probably because where I grew up in New York was like just basically an Italian neighborhood. Everybody's name was either Michael or Anthony, and Anthony's my middle name. So everybody went by their last name, and it kind of just stuck.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I like your TikTok. I like your you got some funny stuff on there. What do you guys do? You guys just like teach people about crypto and NFTs and stuff?
You know, there's multiple creators under our, company. And for me personally, my focus is more no BS crypto, because the crypto industry is fundamentally built on bullshit. A lot of it is. And so I think that trying to bring people down back to reality, showing them what is real and what's not, is important. And I hope that my content fills a role which is not only educational, but fun as well. So I think, trying to connect with the people who are into crypto, which is also young people who are on TikTok. I was never a TikToker until I was sitting at a Cajun seafood restaurant, and my buddy Michael Wang was like, "Hey man, you got to get this app." I'm like, weren't they going to ban that? I thought that was a good thing. I saw all those dancing, garbage like that. But no, there's actually a vibrant crypto scene on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. It's seen amazing growth over the last 12 months, ever since the GameStop stuff. I mean, sure, we've had our moments of, okay, why are we pumping this garbage? Meme coin does nothing. Mm-hmm. But it's gotten so many people into crypto. I think it's been a genuine asset to the space.
How did you get into crypto?
The year was 2017, and my mom told me about crypto. I was 16 years old. I'm 20 now, so I've been in here for about almost 5 years, give or take. And my mom was like, hey, there's this thing called Bitcoin. And I was always a tech guy, built my first computer freshman year, programming, that kind of stuff. Not so much now, but it was just, I dabbled, and I liked investing. I've always been sort of an entrepreneur. And so, I looked at Bitcoin, it was like $1,000, a little bit under. The next week, it was like $2,000. And I said to myself, holy shit, I gotta get on this. I had no idea what any of it was, digital gold. Okay, what does that mean? So I hopped right in the space, and that led to a passion both on a professional level and a personal level that has persisted to this day.
How did you guys meet?
So circa around 2017, 2016, I was working on this startup. I just left the financial industry. I was with Merrill Lynch for a few years, and I met one of my former business partners, and we were working on this project. Essentially, it was a DAO. It was a lot like a DAO in the Metaverse, but it was in 2017. Nobody even knew what Metaverse was back then. So raising funds and traditional capital was hard enough to get it off the ground. And I remember we're out at this convention, actually in Tampa, and we bumped into each other. What was it? It was like right outside. It was right outside. They had like the Lamborghinis outside.
Yeah, this was at the Emil Arena. What was it called? Synapse Summit.
Synapse, yeah. It was at Synapse in
2018.
2018
Synapse Summit, Tampa, Florida.
And he was working for a guy.
What, were you like 16 years old?
I think I might have been 17 at that time.
He was 17, and he was like suited up.
A poorly fitting suit, I might add.
It's suited up. And I remember you were pitching me the company that you were working with. It was this company. I mean, look, there's so many like scam artists, even locally.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say that company was a scam, but the guy he was working for was an asshole. And so
it was unfortunate.
But he came up to me, had this amazing sales pitch. It was like one of the best sales pitches I've ever heard. And I could tell he was young. I didn't know how young. And that like blew my mind when I found out. So I'm like, you know what, come by. We were working out at Credo Conduit at the time. I was like, come by Credo Conduit is like co-working space, and let's chat some more. And he came through, and I mean the rest was history. I basically was like, all right, leave who you're working with now, because they don't even have a contract in place for you, and they're working you like a dog. I was like, so I don't know why you're working for free for them. and we took him in as an intern and gave him papers, and then eventually cut equity out of the deal. And unfortunately, that never kicked off. But then, wrap up 2020, and I'm pitching him on Kryptonite. I'm like, hey, you got some interest in going back into the crypto industry? And he's like, yeah, I do. I was like, I got this idea. And then Kryptonite was born. It actually originally started out as a trading bot company, and then it just spiraled into a media company fast enough.
So Kryptonite is a media company?
Yeah, so we started out, literally I wrote a business plan for this thing, and I sent it to one of my now business partners on June 6th of 2020. And it was outlining this whole thing. I was like, we're going to build a trading bot, and we're going to market it on TikTok. And there wasn't a single crypto TikTok influencer at the time, like none. So I'm scouring this app. I'm like, this is like popping off so fast. I'm like, music artists are getting their songs out on it. I was like, this is great. So I took like an interim role as a COO at a nonprofit in downtown Orlando. And then I was like, once I came up with this idea, I was like, all right, we need to kick this off, because the crypto market's turning around. I saw the writing on the walls. So 2 months later, me and my business partner, we were conceptually things. I called up Lucas and said, I got something I think I need you to be a part of, because I slowly realized this is way too much work for me to become an influencer on TikTok and build an entire company. So I called him up and said, we had grants at the time too. I had these 2 grants from my other company that I was using to fund Kryptonite, just to try to get it off the ground. Like, and it was so shit, because like the one grant would lapse, and then people weren't going to get paid for 2 weeks. And I kind of had that other hard conversation where I was like, guys, listen, if you want to be a part of this, cool. If not, I can't afford to pay for the next 2 weeks. The grant doesn't kick in. So you're going to miss a paycheck. I'm going to miss a paycheck. I'm not getting paid anything either. And but I called him.
This was early 2021, the grant stuff, but we had kind of gotten into it at the very end of 2020.
No, end of 2020. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I called him. I remember the phone call. I was like, listen, how would you like to make crypto content on TikTok? I'll pay you $625 a week.
To be fair.
Yeah. I said, all you have to do is make content on crypto.
I wasn't supposed to be the influencer or the creator or whatever.
No, not at all.
I've only been biz dev, right? So more professional settings. And I wasn't supposed to be handling the TikTok. We had a small team built. I picked it up just to see what the platform was like. And I did this as sort of a side thing, while we were trying to grow the bot, while we were trying to get the brand down. And long story short, we had picked a few people, a few of my friends, a few people he knew. And we had gotten to the point where we had done photo shoots with the people that we thought were the final candidates to be like, we were going to put on a show and produced by us. And I just started making videos, and slowly, like, it became more so that I was taking way more precedent than anyone else. And it was completely by accident, which is kind of funny, because I never really thought I would be the person in front of a camera or making content, because, mind you, I'm doing this all from my bedroom with no production. Like, I had an Android phone, okay?
Nice.
It was, camera quality was not great. Let me just say that.
It was rough beginnings.
Humble beginnings. And we're now officially out of the bedroom as of Wednesday, when my new furniture comes in, So, yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a
good
bot.
journey.
So what, you guys are kind of like crypto financial advisors, or I don't know what that is.
Whoa, what's Ixnay on the financial advisor?
Definitely
No.
not financial advisor.
So what do you got? I still don't understand. I understand you're a media company, but like.
So when it started out, we had a few different partners involved. One of them was a trading guru, and the trading guru, it didn't turn out well the first iteration. We wound up wasting a good 6 months, and that was rough because, as I mentioned before, we had grants; they were lapsing, and so time was of the essence. There was a ton of time wasted, and I was like, "Shit, we got," I think at the time it was like four solid employees that we knew we needed to make paychecks for. And so luckily Lucas's following was growing at the time. One of our graphics designers that we had on payroll, he came through clutch, made him the logo that he has today.
Shout out to Nick.
Shout out to Nick. And
So he designed the current iteration, but my initial logo, to show you how like little I gave any effort into that, it was $15 on Fiverr, and I was like, hey, make me something, because there was a guy I used to watch, did great content, but he stopped posting. So I thought, hey, maybe I'll take up where he left off and just fuck around a little bit. But it turned into so much more than that. You could really think of us like a media company and a bot company. The two are quite separated, but we are under the same name. Media company focused on educational content, community, and educating people like how not to get yourself boned. Because we're not financial advisors. I'll never sit here and tell you, hey man, go invest in this now. Not only is that blatantly illegal because it's financial advice, but it's also not the thing that I encourage people to do. I like to say, hey guys, this is interesting. Go do your research about it. Okay, look at the ecosystem behind it. Look at the partners. This is what I'm doing, and you shouldn't do this. And this is where I think it could go. Right. So it's like, it's not necessarily me telling people that something is about to pop off. It's more about helping them get the tools to do it themselves, so they don't need me.
Yeah.
I want to be on a beach when I'm retired in 20, 30 years, whatever it is. And I want the next person to see my channel and get inspired and do the same thing and help, everyone grow in the space. That's really what I'd like to do personally, is just elevate the crypto space to be taken more seriously, because and TikTok, we get made fun of a lot. There's a lot of creators who are only there for personal gain and to make dog shit content, and it's frustrating because that's the videos that people see when they see crypto TikTok. But there's a vibrant community of people who we're not even affiliated with, but we do shows with or have on live streams, who are really smart in the industry and have helped educate essentially millions, if not tens of millions of people in the last 12 months. It's beautiful, and I wish people would give it a chance.
Hell yeah.
Because it's all about community, man.
How do you guys explain this crypto dip going on right now?
It's an emerging market, right? So you have the cycles of adoption. Crypto's
It's like halved in the last week, right?
Yeah, let's just say my pockets are hurting, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Because if you can't handle it at its negative 50%, then you don't deserve the 200-300x's that come with it, right?
Nice.
It's very similar to the early internet, right? So we're seeing this technology come out, and there's blatant ripoffs and scams. This is just it just comes with the territory. It's opportunists taking advantage, but there's also really cool shit that's being built that will be affecting the financial industry in 10 to 15 years when this technology is done. Ethereum is still in beta. People don't realize that. Vitalik himself is like, hey guys, this was adopted too quickly. It's not supposed to be adopted for mainstream use yet. This technology is very early. I mean, Ethereum gas fees, I paid tens of thousands of dollars last year just to move my money. It's definitely not ready. But we are seeing it get to that point. We're seeing major companies adopt this technology slowly but surely, and just like a forest fire that burns down everything in sight, what comes back will be stronger, and it will be, the newest, greatest thing that we can use in our everyday lives, essentially.
You got some gem quotes in there, man.
It's crazy because when they say we welcome regulation, we're just waiting for it. Because until that time, you're gonna have this crazy volatility. But that's crypto. I mean, it's. I've had days where I'm up 300%. I've had days where I want to cry in a corner, because my bank account is just, or my crypto account, excuse me. Yeah, but you got to stay well diversified. I put everything I had into cryptocurrency when I was 16. I mean, bro, there's a picture that I have that I keep that in 2020 of me. I borrowed $1 from my girlfriend who's moving in with me now. And I needed to deposit it into the bank, so I did an overdraft. All my money was in crypto. Everything. I'm not saying I bought crypto with money I received from a grant, but I was buying crypto basically at the
but you kind of are
at every opportunity, and I bet literally everything I had. I dropped out of college to pursue a career in tech startups and crypto, and I knew college was not for me. I find it very frustrating because it's very arbitrary, and I couldn't see myself doing that 9-to-5 stuff personally, and I think that we're going to see a lot more of that in the coming years. And crypto and Web3 is a great space to build in. You don't need a college degree. You can, as long as you have, a reputation, a foundation, useful skills, you can join a DAO. You can build cool things with cool people, and you can be really successful at it. I've met more millionaires who are younger than me than I have who are older than me in on crypto Twitter.
Really?
Assuming that they're not famous, just people I see in comment sections who are like 18 or 19 who've
These are people who have bought it when it was super cheap, and they've held on to it ever since.
Specifically NFT Twitter.
Yeah,
NFTs
or got into the
Well,
NFT
people become
game,
millionaires in
that's what
the
I was
last
gonna
10 months with NFTs. It's crazy.
say. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I fumbled the bag. I looked at the Bored Apes. Art was fucking ugly. I was like, they are literally so ugly.
They
I
are
don't
dumb.
want them.
They're dumb.
And I was going to buy 10 of them because someone had told me to. And I was like, these things look really gross. I still don't do this. I don't buy NFTs that I don't like the art of. I don't care who they are. I don't care who's doing them. If it's not at least watchable, I'm not putting a Bored Ape on my screen or on a chain. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I love that cube one that you post on your Twitter. The cube, the 3D cube with the ghouls and goblins inside of it.
Yeah, I just retweeted that actually. They were in my comments. No idea what that project is, but they seem cool. They interact with my posts, so I showed them some love. There's a lot of underrated NFT artists. A guy named Sergey out of Miami, really fantastic artist. I first saw his art in 2018. He does crypto art, and he does this. He's a do what you love kind of thing going on. And so I purchased a bunch of his NFTs. No resale value. I spent tens of thousands probably on his NFTs. But I bought them because I liked them, and that's what I do with NFTs personally. Or they have to have really good utility. So
I buy them to flip them. That's it.
Buy 'em and flip 'em?
Yep, buy them and flip them.
what were those called?
No
how are
attachment.
How long is it? There's people.
I have one that I'm attached to. Sorry.
Yeah.
One. Just one.
What were those ones? The Apollons? How are your Apollons doing? This is the problem with the NFT space.
$8,000
90%.
mistake.
$8,000. I remember
Pudgy
that.
Penguins was the best flip I ever had.
Which was?
Pudgy Penguins.
Pudgy Penguins.
I bought one. I bought a few, but I bought one for $6,000. It was like 2 Ethereum at the time, and I knew it was rare. He was looking at it, like, ooh, this is a rare one. You should definitely get this. I was like,
Yep.
all right, fuck it,
I had to
do it.
convince him too.
He had to convince me. I was like, I'm gonna spend $6,000 on a fucking penguin. I was like, are you kidding me? And he's like, bro, do it. This is probably a great move. I said, all right, fine, fuck it. And it sold 2 weeks later for $80,000.
Wow, cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Wow.
Yeah,
God
it was-
damn.
That's fucking incredible.
I'm calling him screaming. I'm like, I love you so much. I'll invest in anything you ever tell me.
Yeah, right.
I was
Ever.
Like, I was like, this
Forever.
is great. This
Wow.
is great.
Fuck.
Yeah. I had
That's
a few
awesome.
other good
Are the Pudgy
Congratulations, man.
Penguins? Yeah, congratulations. That's
Thanks.
huge. Are the Pudgy Penguins still valuable?
Yeah.
Funny
Okay.
story with that. I'd like to make it known as an example of what happens in this space. The founders, which we never did any sponsored work. People always think that because we
Yeah.
really just love the Penguins. We talked about them.
They were cute.
They were already blowing up. Like we got them views, yeah, but they were up 10x when I bought them. They were up 2x when he bought them.
Nice.
And so
Still high.
they were still going. But the founders basically, I don't want to say rugged, but they basically did another mint of miniature penguins, took the Ethereum, and basically said, all right, guys, see you later. Thanks for the bag.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, I sold mine way below floor for half an ETH. This was my NFT profile picture on Twitter, and I've always rocked with the Penguins. Community's great. Founders left them dead and hanging. This is the problem. Where's the accountability for these Web3 projects, for these NFT projects in specific? And that's if crypto is in the early adoption phase, right, where the early adopters or the early majority is getting in, NFTs are the before the early adopter phase. I mean, if you look at who owns an NFT, right, you can see the accounts on OpenSea. I think it's 3 million, and a lot of those are probably people selling to themselves. I'm going to keep it real with you. But we will see NFTs integrated in a major way, just like we saw crypto kind of blow up in 2021. It's sort of like 2017 for NFTs right now. So I'm probably going to buy probably as much NFTs as I do crypto during the bear market.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyone who doesn't is a fool, in my opinion. No financial advice, but
Well, and some
Right.
NFTs aren't just art. Some NFTs are like, what people don't understand, like NFTs are like passes for things.
Yeah, like the yacht club, the Ape Yacht Club. Like you're a member of a club, and you can go to the Discord, you go to the
Yeah.
parties, all that.
But
stuff.
even more so, they can make you more money past that. So like
We just, so me and my friend Joshua Jake, who's a business partner of ours as well, we just joined as advisors to this NFT project called the Blockchain Miners Club. And, they minted these NFTs, right? They're really cool artwork, but they entitle you to a community reward, right? And so they basically took this mint money that they had from raising from these NFTs, and they bought a bunch of Bitcoin miners. So they've got all these Bitcoin miners, hundreds of them, mining Bitcoin, and I think there's some Ethereum miners going on too. They've got all this passive income coming in that they're reinvesting, and holders of these NFTs are entitled to the community rewards. It's not a direct investment thing, but you get your community rewards for owning these miners. And so things like that really excite me for NFTs. Yeah. This is what I'm more than anything excited for, is the ability for people to actually show the utility that they have, and you can actually burn two of these together to create an ultra miner, which has a token attached to it, which they're trying to integrate into a couple different ecosystems. But it's really pushing the boundaries of what is an NFT. Is it just art? Well, no. An NFT, all an NFT really is just, saying that you own a specific thing, and it's like a right. So I have the rights to this NFT. It's my NFT. But it can represent anything. I mean, this table could be an NFT. Mm-hmm. You have it's like a deed saying, "Hey, this is my table."
Right, it's like a deed.
Exactly. Like a patent, maybe.
To that, like ticket sales are going to be the biggest thing in NFTs. I always said, if we weren't doing this, I'd be trying to solve for ticket sales for sporting events or concerts or whatever else. Because as soon as they square that circle, like, all ticket sales will be NFTs. It just makes so much sense. It solves scalping issues. It solves royalty issues. I mean,
we can do that now, right? You just get it to your little Apple wallet, and they send you like the little QR code in your wallet, and it's kind of like that.
So the difference would be is, say you sold like you're Jay-Z and you sell a concert out, right? There's gonna be tons of people who like buy up your tickets, especially like we see all this, and then they're gonna try to resell them for 5x the price right before the show. So if you're Jay-Z, you can go in, and if you sell by NFTs and each ticket's an NFT, you can go in and say, well, all right, that's fine, but every time that ticket's sold, when it gets transferred, like 10, 20, 30, whatever percent of the value is going to go back to the artist.
Or now poor people aren't going to be able to go to Jay-Z concerts.
So, people...
You can't go to them now if you're poor.
Well, how much is a Jay-Z ticket?
A couple $100 probably, at least.
Yeah, but if he was doing it with NFTs and people are scalping them on the black market, they're going to end up being thousands of dollars.
NFTs don't solve traditional issues. They oftentimes present new ones, right? We see this a lot with projects that get exploited. And this is actually a really... So I don't know if you've heard, this is a great example. The blockchain is like, bringing a bunch of meat in front of hungry lions. And these hungry lions are biting at their cage, trying to get in and get the juicy meat. Because even though, it's immutable, great. This Ethereum is my Ethereum. There's no bank. Everything else is still a risk. These Bored Apes were getting sold for, 1.7 ETH, 0.7 ETH recently, just last week, because of an API issue with OpenSea. Essentially, what was happening is that people had them listed, 6 months ago for that price, but they didn't want to pay the delisting fee, which is Ethereum gas fees are prohibitively expensive. So they would send it to another wallet and then back again, violating that smart contract. But someone found an exploit where, even though it wasn't publicly available on the blockchain, that smart contract was still active. So they would immediately buy it, flip it for maybe 20 or 30 times what they bought, and make off with, $100,000 or less than that sometimes, but 80 grand. And so there's a lot of exploits in the space right now. And it's just, like I said, part of the emerging technology that's coming here. We're going to see these kinks. But still, there's more wins than there are losses. I mean...
Have they fixed that yet?
It's OpenSea. OpenSea is terrible.
The Bored Ape, I saw like last week, the floor on those things was 90 Ethereum. Now it's like 118 Ethereum. It's insane.
Yep, Justin Bieber just bought Bored Ape for 500 Ethereum, I believe.
See, that seems like the whole value in it. It's just because celebrities buy it and people think it's cool. Like Jimmy Fallon, Justin Bieber, whoever else, Post Malone, whoever else bought those things, and it's like more and more celebrities or famous people with big Twitter followings will buy them, and then it makes more people want to jump in. But it also does have like all those cool intangible value to it, like the Discord and the parties and the merch and all that stuff too. So,
and keep in mind, a lot of these celebrities didn't actually buy them. They used something called MoonPay Concierge. And, we can debate about whether or not they're actually paying for these, but I have a sneaking suspicion some of these celebrities, they were gifted it.
Really?
Bored Ape. I think this is very likely.
What is MoonPay Concierge?
MoonPay, they're kind of a company in the space that puts together, from what I understand, I'm not a huge expert, I haven't really looked into them that much. They put together if you want to invest in NFTs, but you don't want to do it yourself. So they have a concierge service, and they've got some other stuff going on. But I think it's no coincidence, let's just say that all these Bored Apes started appearing.
Yeah, you want exposure, but you don't want to take the time to learn about it.
Yeah.
So you want to be in the crowd, but you don't want to do anything for it.
and I'm not like a huge, I don't know much about MoonPay. I just know that they have the service.
Those types of services are going to be around for a long time. I mean, that's why financial advising services are around, because people don't want to learn what to invest in stocks. They just want to build their wealth and then toss it over to a financial advisor. It's the same thing.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors in this industry, man. I mean, more than I could explain in a podcast episode.
But what's the chances of the Bored Ape is just one big scam? These guys are just gonna hit the freaking highway. And
the craziest thing is that there's a lot of, rhymes with Yahtzee imagery behind these Bored Apes. People don't talk about that much. There's a guy on Twitter who people debate.
I did notice that. So I had this guy Brett Phillips, baseball player, on the podcast last week, and he taught me about the Bored Apes literally last week. And so me and a friend of mine went and bought one. And it has this crazy helmet on it. Here, I'll show it to you. And we just looked it up today, and it's some fucking, it's like a German Nazi helmet.
I was gonna say the only thing I could think that rhymes with Yahtzee is Nazi.
I didn't know if you were,
but I didn't know if I was missing a word or if I'm like.
Yeah. So there's a lot of historical references behind the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I'll send you guys this afterwards. I was very doubtful. I thought maybe it's a coincidence. There's a lot of stuff that just, and I'm not saying that they are definitely intentfully doing this, but there just seems to be a lot of coincidences here. They're definitely too big to fail. There's the Bored Apes. I would be very surprised if they did not last, probably, for conceivably as long as NFTs are a thing, unless something drastic happened, because they've hit critical mass. You can't go back from Justin Bieber aping into
right.
They could get
Ape.
Canceled.
I doubt it.
For wearing German World War II helmets.
But the powers that be behind crypto don't want that to happen.
Who are the powers that be?
Well, there's Twitter, and then there's crypto Twitter. And crypto Twitter has a different set of rules.
Crypto Twitter is an interesting side of Twitter. It's very different from anything else. But when I say the powers that be, it's a very general topic because it's hard to track down who those are. But crypto is run, there's a lot, like I said, a lot of smoke and mirrors in this industry that I'm trying to cut through. And a lot of people have been made enemies of other people because they try and do the same thing, But it is what it is. I think that ultimately we will see this space grow and evolve to where people can recognize that. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things that I see a lot, so I have a side thing I'm doing. I partnered with DAOmaker, which is like the #1 like legit crypto launch pad in the space. Shout out to the DAOmaker team. I'll send them this video. And we're running something called InfinityPad. So I've learned how to kind of do IDOs, initial offerings, and not available in America. Shout out to my non-American friends. But there's a lot of VCs in the space that are just out here to just get their bag. There's a lot of VCs and LPs that are just out here to use DeFi and Web3 to do the same thing they did in Web 2. And it's very frustrating to see that. So I think that we can build a system that makes them obsolete. And that's kind of what I want to focus on doing so that they don't have control beyond the space, because a lot of these projects have that.
So are all NFTs reliant upon Bitcoin mining or Ethereum mining? Because Ethereum, the only way Ethereum transaction, like those gas fees, right? Those gas fees are because you got to pay for the people that have the miners, right? You got to pay the miners to do those transactions. So Ethereum, is Ethereum reliant on mining?
Yeah, for now.
For now, until it goes proof of stake or whatever.
People think Ethereum's the only network you can have NFTs on. That's not true.
Oh, it's not true.
No.
Yeah, no. There's a ton of different networks. There's Zero. There's Solana. There's
environmentally friendly networks,
Avalanche.
might I add, that don't have the impact that Ethereum has.
Like my newest thing is AVAX, Avalanche NFTs. I love that whole ecosystem. It's so fast, so clean, and it's just got so many more use cases than I think even Ethereum NFTs do.
Really?
I'm here for it. I'm definitely making the transition over.
To give you guys some history in the space, like 2017 was about the cryptocurrencies, right?
Yeah.
Emphasis on the currency. No one cares about that right now. Bitcoin is one, okay? No one's replacing Bitcoin. It used to be Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin had a thing going. No, Bitcoin Cash is gone. Nowadays, it's about the layer ones and layer zeros. To give you an example, that's essentially networks like Ethereum that projects can be built on top of. And it's been a mad dash for which layer one, layer zero, etc., whatever you want to call it, which blockchain platform is going to win the race. You know, I made a bunch of money, shout out to this man here, off of a layer 2 called Polygon Matic. That was my biggest W last year.
Yeah, that's the other one that you can buy shit with on OpenSea is Polygon.
Yeah,
yes,
which is great. I put $1,000 in at a penny. I bailed out at 90 cents, and then it shot up to $2.80.
That was funny.
Look, I'm not mad about it. It was still a 900x return, 9,000x return on one investment. Like it was, yeah.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, it was great.
So you guys are just watching this shit all day long.
All day. Well, for me, it goes back to why I couldn't be a creator at the time, was because building a business is just insane, especially one that has the amount of, like, I think we're at 18 employees now, something like 18 employees, and we have like 3 different business models all under one house, and all thriving.
You know, like we're really trying to be a holistic company in the space that's doing a lot. We want to do cool stuff. We've worked with some really cool brands. We've worked with really cool creators, and so we're just trying to, you know, scale up here as far as we're going. I mean, I'm pretty happy with our team right now.
Yeah, Trading Bot's launching in 2 weeks. We got the media company. We've done over, I think our best month was something like $750,000 in deals, and then we have our Discord community, which we broke 100,000 last month. It took a small dip. I think we went down about 6,000-7,000 when the crypto market took a nosedive. But
people don't want to see their portfolios. They don't want to think about it.
They don't want to think about it.
Seems like the people that get the richest off that stuff are the people that just forget about the crypto they have, or they forget about their wallets.
It's the best way to be.
I'm completely emotionless. Like, even though, you know, my portfolio goes up and down.
Yeah.
I think really what separates the people who are gonna make it in early technology like crypto is the conviction that they have behind their investments. It was not easy to get here. Everyone's like, oh my God, you're so lucky. You invested in Ethereum when it was early. You invested in Bitcoin when it was early. Yeah, okay, we saw our portfolios. I hit 6 figures when I was 17. I saw that portfolio decimated over the next year and a half, 2 years. You don't understand, like people think it's easy. It's not easy to hold an asset down 90% and then back up again. It's not.
I watched my account go from 68,000 to 3,000 in 2018. The entire way down. Yeah.
You stayed on the train though, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't sell a thing.
Nice.
The only ones that get hurt are the ones that jump off.
Yeah, man.
I tell people I tell people to take their profits, because you don't want to be stuck holding the garbage networks. A lot of stuff from 2017 ain't here now, and it's going to be the same way next time. It's how it goes. You know, you got to consolidate into what I call the blue chips. Ethereum's a great example of that.
Yeah.
Ethereum's a blue chip?
No, it's not going anywhere. It's the bluest of blue, in my opinion.
What do you mean by that?
It means, like, Ethereum is not about to die tomorrow.
Okay.
There's a lot of vaporware projects, like stuff that is clearly experimental and for whatever reason could fail. You know, even the biggest projects in the space in 2017 are shadows of their former selves. You just never know what's going to last.
So Ethereum and Bitcoin are like the 2 biggest ones, right? Those aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, and look, everything that I invested in back in 2018 is still, or even 2017, is still around today. And then there's some new ones that I've added on that just they're blue chip quality. You know, the networks are too large. There's too many people using them. Yeah. And the real thing is just like find use cases. It's one of the hardest things for like real new use cases to come about is so many different projects come out and they just want to build a coin. And they come up with a problem to solve, but there's really no problem there. You know, this gets compared to like internet in the late 90s where everybody had a website for everything. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's great, you can have it up, but is it really worth anything? It's bringing value to people. How many people are actually going to know about it, see about it? Or if you have 50 websites doing the same thing, which one's going to come out on top? Mm-hmm. And, you know, it makes it really hard in this space for the new projects that are true blue and like really solving a problem to be found or heard of, you know, because you just have thousands of
there's 10,000
shit projects,
20,000 coins, you know. It's a trial by fire. It's the crypto market is throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks for some of it, and the projects that get really big will make those investors a lot of money. You know, you're an early investor in Polygon like we were, great, but
as soon as they said it speeds up Ethereum, and I was like, oh, I've been on Ethereum. It's slow as shit. I was like, yeah, this is something that'll pop off. Like, if I can trade on this or I could do something on this and it makes my transactions faster, it was at 1 cent. I was like, this will be $1 easily.
But there's other projects that do the same thing, or that's an example. But there's projects that compete with each other, and some of them die and some of them do really well. That's, like I said, having conviction that you're picking the right one. You got to know what you're doing.
It's the BS. Like, have you seen that house out in? I just watched this. It's like the most expensive house in America.
Oh right? Yeah, in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, $500 million.
Yeah, I saw that.
Jesus.
And I'm watching this thing, and they're like doing the walkthrough. It's ridiculous, like 150,000 square feet or 100,000 square feet or something like that. And they're talking about like it's in bankruptcy court. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, they said it was going to sell for like half price, like $250,000 or $250 million.
Right, and the guy goes, they're looking into tokenizing it. I'm like, why? And they have to throw blockchain in there. And it's like, that's the type of shit that is repressing good projects and like stuff in this industry. Is like when people.
You guys hear a constitution down?
Tokenizing it. What the fuck?
You can fractionalize things. You can fractionalize ownership. They did this with the original Doge.
So you're saying like make the house, break up the house into individual like thing. People can own parts of the house.
Imagine
the logistical nightmare that is.
Turning the house, turning the house into like the fucking S&P 500 or something.
Imagine the deed, but cut up into thousands of little pieces.
Right, gotcha. Okay, I see.
And Constitution DAO was a great example of that, but it almost worked and then it didn't. They were trying to buy a copy of the U.S. Constitution. They raised like, oh God, I can't remember, tens of millions.
Yeah, but you don't need a blockchain to do that.
Yeah,
that's
but
called
it makes
a Reg A plus offering.
But who? Okay,
the SEC and break up an asset into pieces. Rally does that with Pokemon cards.
My friend's not going to do that. My friend's not going to go to a Reg A offering. You know.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
They do what they do have is Ethereum, and they can commit that Ethereum to buy the U.S. Constitution. Ultimately, it didn't work. They were outbid on Sotheby's, but it's a really cool idea. And you know what's crazy? They ended up making a token out of it, a DAO token that ended up doing like a 50x or something crazy. Crazy shit. Yeah.
What the fuck is a DAO token?
It's a governance token. So a DAO, right? A decentralized autonomous organization. There's three main things that came out of this bull run. That's
DAO, not DOW. Okay.
No,
yeah,
DAO.
DAO.
Yeah. Okay.
And there are governance tokens that you can vote essentially to choose to determine the future of the project. So it's kind of democratizing, projects and things that people want to do. And there are DAOs for all kinds of stuff. The governance token is what makes it that, which is kind of cool, right? So you can do a lot of really interesting, nifty stuff, which Constitution DAO is just a fun example of that.
Think of it as like a company without a C-suite. And just everybody's kind of, you say like governance token, like the people decide. Like truest form of democracy.
Is that similar to like what they say with the Bored Ape? You'll be able to stake it and earn like I heard some bro was telling me something about you can, if you own the Bored Ape NFT, you can stake it, and then they're going to create a token called like ApeCoin, and then once that comes out, you'll be able to earn this ApeCoin without doing anything. You just staking it means like you you sign off that you're not going to sell the NFT for X amount of time.
It's a smart contract. So
Yeah.
you pick a time and put it in there.
And staking's, look, Tim's going to kill me for saying this. Staking's smart in my book. Like, you can stake tokens that are already out there. Like, if you ever heard of like crypto.com, it's a great app. I have a lot of crypto assets on there, and I stake everything through there because if you are, you know, like a certain tier, you get extra rewards. So it's kind of like locking your money up at a CD in the bank, only instead of getting some shit percentage, you're getting 6, 10, some 15% PA on your crypto.
You can get 30% and it's still considered relatively safe, you know.
Just for holding it.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like a certificate of deposit, but for your crypto funds. And now, yeah, it's pouring over into the NFT space.
Right. I can see how it makes the NFTs more valuable if you claim you're not going to sell it for a certain amount of time.
Sure.
But I still don't understand like how if they make a coin, how you get paid from that.
I mean, it all comes down to what they're going to use it for. I'm not a Bored Ape member.
Yeah.
I couldn't give a shit really about what they're doing.
Right.
But you know, I'm sure it'll be something cool. Maybe you can buy exclusive merch with it. Maybe you can gain exclusive VIP access into a club on a yacht in Miami or something crazy. You know, so there's a lot of cool utility you can do. I don't know necessarily if it's a governance token, but you know, the use case is whatever they decide. I mean, I'm not going to buy any myself, I don't think, personally.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it will be tradable like any other decentralized exchange. They can just list it on there and, you know, get it going. Uniswap.
Interesting. Do people still mine cryptocurrency and make money?
Yeah.
Really?
It's just the issue is that with every consensus algorithm, form of consensus, essentially how a blockchain works, right? You have proof of work, you have proof of stake, you have dedicated proof of stake, you have all these kind of, you know, you have a DAG, directed acyclic graph technology like Hedera Hashgraph and Constellation Network. And so there's a bunch of different like algorithms and ways to do it. Bitcoin mining and Ethereum mining for most people is not going to be an endeavor that's worthwhile. Because Bitcoin specifically, you need a lot of money.
Yeah, you got to buy those crazy specialized. What the fuck are they called? The
ant miners.
Ant miners. Yeah.
From Bitmain out of China, and unless you have like a handshake agreement where you can get a bunch of miners, it's gonna be difficult. You're gonna be waiting months to year.
If you don't get scammed.
If you don't get scammed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very tough to secure these legitimately, and you need, I assume, another handshake agreement with a local government because I don't know, you know, what the rate of power is at this place, but. You know, unless you got some cheap energy, you're not going to make much. You're really...
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. I'd like dip my toe into it a little bit, and I bought like 6 of the 3090s, and it makes me like $20 a day.
So that's Ethereum. You're mining Ethereum, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, this is my biggest gripe is that Ethereum 2.0 is not here. Ethereum is switching from proof of work
Right, to proof of stake. Right, and then Ethereum mining is going to be dead, and GPU mining is going to be worthless. Until I find another coin to mine, right, which will be a while.
I mean, you can actually mine a couple different things.
You can go into nodes.
Yeah, nodes.
What's a node?
Nodes are my new
Fantastic.
favorite thing, man. I make like a few $100 a day just by running nodes.
What the hell is a node?
It's basically you're sometimes you're purchasing a node on a network, right? Or normally with nodes you're not like staking. So like with staking you get your coin back, right? But with purchasing a node you're actually purchasing it. So like Strong Block, for instance.
Oh.
He hates Strong.
I don't know.
love
I don't know what that is.
Listen,
All right, what do we do? What about Thor? We'll do Thor Network.
Sure.
Like Thor Network, Thor Finance.
There's dubious, for anybody who's new to this, nodes are very dubious. There are some that are good, some that are questionable.
You need a good strategy and you need a good exit plan. But essentially you're helping like the network, whatever protocol that is, like approve transactions, right?
You're validating transactions on a network.
on a
And
network.
there are Bitcoin nodes too, but you're not getting paid if you're not
And
mining.
it's
Right.
not a piece of hardware.
No, you can
No.
actually run it right on your computer. And some of them are. This is my rule of thumb with them. The easier they are to set up, the more risky they are. Like that is
For sure. That's with anything, right?
right.
Yes.
The easier they're
Like Hex. You
but
ever heard
with
of Hex?
some of it does make
I
sense.
have heard of Hex. That guy's been trying to get on this podcast.
Oh, God.
Richard Hart.
Yes.
So Richard Hart is a very interesting, and I know this
He
is
hasn't been trying to get on here. Somebody's been trying to set it up to get him on here.
Richard Hart, and they're gonna. I know I'm gonna get tagged on Twitter. In my opinion, is running what I would consider to be a project with questionable fundamentals. We'll just say that.
What's he doing?
Hex is essentially a clone of Ethereum. You have to stake your Hex for a long time. They're also running something called Pulse Chain. You have to sacrifice to get onto Pulse Chain. I don't really mess with it.
Sacrifice what?
I'm pretty
Your
sure you have
baby?
to sacrifice your Hex to get Pulse. I'm not a Hex expert. I've only been on the website a few times. I've looked at their community. I've been through their stuff. I've looked at what they're doing. On their website, if you want to scroll down and look at the very bottom, there's a piece of text.
Abusive text.
A piece of text.
Oh.
It's a small little paragraph, and it's
Same.
essentially like saying, this is a political statement. You're behind freedom of speech. This is not investment. Also, you have to do this if you're about free speech and this and that. And I'm like, what is this, man? The network is really nothing new, in my opinion. It's like. And people will, I know they're going to come at me. In my opinion, Hex is just like the new BitConnect.
Who's going to come at you?
They have a very dedicated community.
Crypto Twitter.
I have, they have gone through all my videos and made hate clips. I'm actually in a music video. I'm in a music video
You made
where
it.
they call us Furus.
Furus.
Yeah, and there's a Hex rap video where it's like, they actually have a few of my buddies and they have them in caskets. They have their picture and a casket, and it's like they're burying the Furus. It's like weird. It's a weird.
Why? Because you guys talk shit about Hex?
Community.
Yeah, because like if you're not with us,
Nice.
you're against us. I have nothing against Hex investors. I just don't think the network is good. It doesn't do much. I think it's just like there's a reason it's not on CoinMarketCap. Like where they say it should.
There's a lot of networks that do the same thing.
I think it's so hilarious that there's so much competition in all these crypto networks and crypto coins and people who are invested in certain ones. It's like such a tribal competitive world in crypto, especially when you combine it with social media. It's just like pouring gas on fire.
You can do anything you want. You can fork Uniswap, right? This is what what's his name, Ty Lopez is doing. He has the Radio Shack brand.
Oh my god, I forgot about that guy.
He has the Radio Shack brand, and essentially, I looked into this a little bit. He's like forking Uniswap and then calling it Radio Shack or something like that, like a Radio Shack decentralized exchange.
He bought Radio Shack?
He has the rights to it, so he's actually got the rights to a bunch of like old companies that no one gives a shit about, and he's trying to like modernize the brand.
Nostalgic.
I mean, I don't know anyone who's going to use that. Maybe like
That's what Gary
My
Vee
dad.
always talks about. Gary Vee's a big crypto guy too.
Gary
he's
Vee's
got
more.
V friends.
He's more of an NFT guy. Gary Vee's a
Is he?
visionary in a lot of ways. I think he really, if there's anyone to credit with like showing that NFTs are not just monkey pictures, it's Gary Vee. I got to give him props, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very knowledgeable about this stuff. Pretty much everything I know I learned from watching his videos.
Nice. Yeah.
So Ty Lopez is big into this stuff, huh? Is he selling NFTs too?
I couldn't give a shit. I don't know. I just saw
I
that
hope
someone
not.
making fun of it. The problem, like I said, with crypto is it attracts the grifters because it's easy to grift, And I've had very public beef with people on YouTube and other places. With just I'm not going to elaborate on that, but let's just say we
Why
have
not? We should
different
elaborate on it.
Crypto beef.
Well,
Crypto beef.
they're just people that I disagree with that I think that are leading the space in a direction that I don't agree with, and so we have our moments,
He's no BS crypto.
If I think it's
Right.
BS, I'm
Right.
going to
Oh,
tell him it's
bullshit. He's
BS.
gonna
you
call
know?
We
him
can pull
out.
him up on the TV and shame him right
Yeah,
now.
we can look at him right now. Call him out. Richard Hart, where you at, bitch?
It's not Richard Hart. Yeah, Richard Hart, he's not actually. There's worse people than Richard Hart.
Yeah. Well, he looks very entertaining. He's very charismatic. He's got a really cool background on his videos.
He has a way of like, he's like got the Charles Manson vibe.
Yeah, I dig that. Where's he live? Maybe I should get him on here.
That would be an interesting episode. I would love to see you guys.
Do you know where he lives?
Oh God, no! But I'm sure he would do it. He has a thing where he has people on his. He wants to go on people's shows to debate. He's a very good debater.
But he doesn't do it in person though. Everything he does is remote.
Well, because it's a security risk. He is quite. He has a lot of value in crypto, and there's a lot of people who just don't like him. So I don't blame him. People in crypto are kind of weird like that. I was just seeing the other day. It was just kind of funny, kind of off topic. Someone's tracking Elon Musk's private
That
jet.
is so sick.
That was so funny.
I was watching that was on TV this morning. They were interviewing him on like fucking MSNBC or something like that. Like the kid's gone full blown mainstream, blown up.
You can make a career out of anything, man.
That is crazy. His jet goes everywhere, bro. Okay, pull up that Twitter account, Elon Musk's jet. He goes from like Austin, Texas to Sacramento, California, like 3 times a day in his jet.
I didn't know people traveled that much.
Yeah.
Like, what are these people doing?
Yeah, there it is. Find his actual. Go to his feed so you can see all of his posts.
That looks like Florida.
He
dude.
just installed a
He
private sensor.
he had like 50,000 followers 2 days ago. Now he's got 250,000 followers.
Oh, did they do the rocket launch today?
Oh, bro, I was standing outside my office and we saw some crazy shit in the air.
That's probably it. That had to be
That's
it.
what we were like. What the fuck is that?
It got delayed
Today?
yesterday.
Yeah, right before I talked to you on the phone. Me
Really?
and Mike were standing outside. We're like, what the fuck is that?
Oh,
Bro? It was
they
some
had to
alien
have
looking
launched it.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
They were going to do it yesterday. And
Is
then
his
it was
jet
like
in Cape
3
Canaveral
seconds.
right now?
I'm so glad you brought that up because we were tripping for a minute.
Oh, yeah, it's the launch. Yesterday, they were like literally aborted 3 seconds before launch because the
shit.
cruise ship just plowed through the no ship
No
zone,
flies.
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Oh, yeah, it was supposed to launch yesterday at 4 o'clock.
Oh my god.
They were like,
That's sick.
there's a cruise ship
Go
in
up to the
area.
31st. See if it was in Florida. No.
Elon Musk's jet.
He flew public to get here. That's funny. Yeah, and he offered the guy $5,000 to take it down.
What
He
a
said no.
cheapskate.
Didn't he
That's
say 50K?
And the kid responded, and he's like, "I'll do it." He's like, "I can't do it for less than $50,000."
He should have
He
said
undersold.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna say 5
No, no,
mil.
Elon
Yeah,
offered him
5
$5,000.
mil.
Dude's a billionaire.
Yeah, that's like me.
I said,
you
see
know,
me for 50 M's, bud.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of like 3 pennies that you find in your spare change in the pocket of your laundry.
Yeah.
You know, like,
$5,000.
but I understand it's about like I've had people who squat on my domains, my Ethereum name service domain.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was squatting on it for the longest time. We actually got into a bit of a feud, but he ended up giving it to me. You know, I didn't want to pay him for it because it's just like I don't negotiate with terrorists like that. But he gave it to me after like I did some charity. I did a charity NFT drop. So like we raised some money for St. Jude's. It was cool. People got to hop on the phone with me. Some people got like artwork. You know, it was like a nice little thing I partnered with Theta to do.
Cool.
So, you know.
I had a guy in here the other day. His name was Rick Ross, and he owned RickRoss.com, and I think the rapper offered him like less than $1,000 for it.
Wow.
He eventually sold it for, I think, around 10,000. But
I feel bad. I actually just curved Rick Ross. He was trying to go live with me, but I was moving, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry.
he was trying to do what?
He has a new NFT collection coming
Oh,
out.
does he
wants
really?
to- he wanted me to do a live with him on TikTok. I was like, I'm moving.
Too busy.
You're gonna be propped up on my hookah, like to. I don't have a stand. It's all in a box.
I hope he does all pictures of Rick Ross as NFTs.
Is this the real Rick Ross or is this Rick Ross?
No, it's no.
Free Rick?
Pull up, I wanna see what it looks like.
Which Rick Ross?
What?
Which
When
Rick?
Lakota did a live stream. Freeway Ricky.
So
Oh,
Freeway
the
Rick,
original,
not-
the
not
drug
Rick
dealer.
Ross,
Oh, not the
yeah,
not the
no, no,
rapper.
Oh no, we're
Yeah,
thinking of a different Rick Ross.
Freeway.
Oh, the OG Rick Ross.
Yeah, the OG.
Ricky.
There you go.
The original
shit.
OG.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a little bit of name difference there, but
Yeah.
not really.
Well, when you say Rick Ross, everyone thinks of the hip hop
A
artist.
rapper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess he must be like pissed off that he keeps getting mistaken for that. You know, like I would be kind of pissed.
Who does?
The original, right?
Yeah, I think he
I don't
tried to
know.
sue him for that. I think he changed his name actually because of that.
He changed it to Freeway after Rick Ross?
No, I think Rick Ross changed it. The rapper changed his name
I'm not
because that guy got out of prison. I think he sued him for stealing his name.
I heard that Rick Ross, the rapper, owns the biggest swimming pool in the United States.
really.
At his house, he has like a house in
believe
Atlanta. He got some big house. Remember when
I think
Forgiato
he does a
Blow?
lot of swimming.
Remember when Forgiato Blow went to his big house party in
Yeah.
Miami? They showed the big house in not Miami, but Atlanta. Apparently, that's the biggest swimming pool in the world. Not the world, the U.S.
We'll check that out someday. You know?
I think he does a lot of floating. I don't think he does a lot
Float.
of So, all right. One thing I'm trying to understand is this proof of stake with Ethereum. That's going to shut down all the Ethereum miners, and now there won't be any gas fees on Ethereum when you try to make transactions.
No. So gas fees, depending on, you are going to pay a gas fee, right? Unless you're.
But you don't pay it with Bitcoin, right?
You do.
You do pay it with Bitcoin?
Yeah. So, there's going to be a cost always to send something, unless you're using a technology like Nano, which uses block lattice it's a no fee.
Or Polygon.
Polygon has fees too. They're just very nominal. You're paying a quarter of a cent.
Okay.
And that's what's exciting is like that. You're paying a quarter of a cent instead of a $200 fee. That frustrating, but you just have to bite the bullet because everything's on Ethereum. It's just the biggest one there is. It's the strongest network. But no, yeah. Well, even when Ethereum switches to proof of stake, the gas fees theoretically should increase. They just had an update last year, which was supposed to help the gas fees, but all it did was stabilize them to be high consistently instead of bringing them down to a consistent price. So my hope is that Ethereum comes to a point where, combined with the layer 2s that it has, like Polygon, that it's affordable for the average person, but it's not. So I used to tell people, go get some Ethereum and hop into DeFi. Go, experiment with new technology. But it's just not feasible because you're going to need $500-600 to do anything on Ethereum. So I tell people, go to the Binance Smart Chain, go to Avalanche, go to Polkadot.
What are you talking about? I don't know what Avalanche, Polkadot, any of that is.
Different networks.
Different networks.
Like Ethereum.
Like Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay. For the sort of, but not really. Yes, in this scenario, yes, they are.
Okay.
You can just imagine that, you log in and you can use the blockchain through a wallet. There are some EVM compatible networks, the Ethereum virtual machine. A lot of the tech is just Ethereum forked and changed slightly.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But like Solana is non-EVM compatible. It's a good example. Solana has been like this big up and comer. I think it's overrated, but
Really?
yeah. Centralized. They sacrificed
EVM compatible.
They're compatible with the same layout as the Ethereum. Like your MetaMask, when you log into MetaMask, it's EVM compatible. So all you have to do is add the network, and it's seamless integration. But like Solana, you need the Phantom wallet, which they just raised $106 million, I think, today.
Solana did?
Phantom, a wallet on Solana.
A wallet. Okay.
Solana has a lot of.
See, then it gets so much more confusing. Then you have all these fucking wallets. You got Coinbase wallet, MetaMask wallet.
So that's why I was saying like EVM compatible. Why it's so important is because if you play in like DeFi land, or that's not a real place, but you know what I mean. Like if you,
it is a project, I think.
Is it? If you, the names kill me. If you play in this space and you're connecting, like, and you're doing blockchain gaming or something like that, right? Or you're running nodes, or you're trading your crypto, or
NFTs,
NFTs, right? Like for most people, they use MetaMask,
Right.
So I have downloaded MetaMask on as an extension, and you say like, oh, it's compatible on that network. That network is compatible with that wallet, and it allows me to just connect
the same address
to that site.
Okay.
So
same address,
in the future, a wallet's probably going to be as common as like a social media account. Like if you don't have one, like you're probably not going to be able to walk around Web3 that easily, and Web3 is already here.
What the fuck does Web3 even mean?
It's a bullshit term. It's a bullshit term. Like when people ask me, hey man, what are the best Web3 coins? I'm like, motherfucker, this is Web3.
Like we're in Web3.
Okay, so we're in web. So it's like version 3 of the web.
Well, yeah. So like we're removing sort of the big tech giants from the equation, or at least that's what we're trying to do. We're not only the financial middlemen, but the social middlemen. We want to essentially eliminate a lot of these corporations with so much power over us through Web3, and that suck the profits. So like your data, your
like Facebook and Twitter.
It's ownership. That's probably the best way to put it.
How is that going to happen?
Do you know how much money I've made from just using DeFi protocols? Like
I don't even know what a DeFi protocol is.
From DeFi projects. So like the Ethereum name service, right? ENS domains .eth. You ever heard those?
No.
Have you seen those? So it's like so the blockchain boy .eth. The blockchain boy .eth exists.
Okay.
And instead of having
okay, .eth.
Yeah.
That's why those Twitter people have their Twitter name .eth.
Exactly. So
Okay.
instead of a bullshit
Right.
wallet, like no one wants to use that, you just type in the blockchain boy .eth and you can send me whatever you want, for better or for worse. That's just a
In the
public-
browser. In any browser.
in a like MetaMask, or like if you want to send me crypto, it's an address. But you could also use it as a domain name. If you want to really build decentralized websites, ICP is probably my favorite, like decentralized way to build stuff because they do it more on the blockchain instead of compromising on central.
An easy use case example would be like pre-search. Have you heard of pre-search?
No.
Pre-search is like Google that doesn't screw you. Like, so every time I search on pre-search, instead of Google getting paid by XYZ advertiser, right, I get paid. So I hook my wallet up to pre-search. And now every time I search for something, it's a search engine. It actually searches Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, YouTube, like all these other sites. And now when I search for something, I see my account go up by like 15 cents every time I search.
It's like Brave Browser. You heard of Brave Browser?
I have heard of that, yeah.
Basic attention token. You're rewarded for the ads that you see essentially and stuff like that.
So you get paid to use it.
We're taking away the tools that made the Elon Musks, the tech giants of the world, and giving it to the people that use the networks in the first place. I got an airdrop for having an Ethereum name, and that airdrop was worth $3,000 to $4,000. They did a Business Insider article about it.
An airdrop?
It was cool. Airdrops are fucking sweet, dude.
What the fuck really is an airdrop, dude?
If you're an early
blown,
adopter,
bro.
Hey, he works construction full time. I just fucking do these podcasts, but this is like the second or third crypto podcast I've ever done.
We can get
Airdrops.
we can get deep with it, man.
Yeah,
I'm still on Web 1.
It would take weeks and weeks and weeks.
Think of it like this: like you're being rewarded for using a network and providing value to that network.
Who pays you?
The same people that would pay the company. So, just routed through you.
It is not necessarily. Airdrops are a little different. So,
not for airdrops. I was talking like with pre-search and the advertisers and things like that.
that's
owning your own data. Like you're you have value to, like, you ever hear the term like if the product's free, you're the product?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like on websites when you go and use a free product, they're collecting data about you and then selling it to another company.
Right.
And then that person's profiting off of it, and it's like leaving you in the dust with no show for anything that you just provided to that company. See what I mean? So Web 3 is essentially a way to
sort of.
loosely.
It's complicated to explain without being too detailed about it. But the ENS airdrop, it was a governance airdrop, so a governance token was airdropped to you. Depending on how long you'd had your name, how many you had, how long you basically reserved it for. Some people made $60,000, man. I mean, it was crazy, People really make a lot of money from these. We had one called Looks Rare. It's an NFT marketplace. And I think my airdrop from that was like $5,000, maybe $6,000. And
now look, it's not like here's just $5,000. Congratulations for holding your stuff.
You got to qualify for them.
Also, why you would get airdropped. Like you said, airdropped a governance token, right? So, if I own something and I'm on that network, right, and they know that I'm a holder of whatever that is, right, they can then program it to go, okay, we're going to do a massive airdrop, right, hook up your wallet.
Those parameters.
We'll validate that you are an owner of XYZ coin, right? And then we're now giving all the owners of this an airdrop of tokens, right? In that case, it was a governance token.
Okay.
So now they're airdropping these governance tokens, and now when he says I made $5,000 off of that, he then took the governance tokens that he got and was like, I'm going to sell these right away because they're valuable, right? People
I'll take the
want
money,
those
bro.
governance,
and
he'll go
70%,
and sell it, right? And then boom, you got an airdrop of $5,000 worth of governance tokens that you just sold immediately.
So on these search engines or browsers or whatever, are there people paying to be seen on there?
I mean, it's just like any other browser. It's rewarding you for using it. I mean, I'm not a huge Brave guy. I've never really used. Josh is a big Brave browser guy. But best example of this that is topical that people will know is this Looks Rare marketplace that just dropped, because OpenSea is terrible. They blew up real quick. They didn't have the staff to support billions of dollars flowing in. And they made some mistakes, and that's, it's okay. OpenSea, they've done a lot for the space, but there's another NFT marketplace called Looks Rare that airdropped a bunch of tokens to anyone who traded NFTs on OpenSea, I believe. And all you had to do was list an NFT on their marketplace. And people got a lot of money from that. And so now they're a real competitor. They're sometimes outdoing the volume on OpenSea.
So how do you think that these types of browsers or search engines or whatever are going to take over websites like Twitter and Facebook and decentralize the powers that be on the internet? The monopolies.
It's going to be niche for a while, but I think we'll see if we continue to see the crypto market grow and expand. I think we'll see better alternatives form because there's a financial incentive for people to be on these platforms. So they are rewarded for using these platforms, and it's hard to turn that down, especially when you're getting a comparable experience. But it's not going to be easy by any means. And a lot of what like these big Web 2 companies are doing is they're kind of trying to co-opt the movement. Back in 2017, it was really core DeFi people. I mean, look at who sits on the Hedera Hashgraph, the council, right? Hedera is not a very good network, in my opinion. Well, you can have your opinions. They're doing good steps. They're trying to decentralize. That's the point of a blockchain. But the council members on Hedera are huge corporations. Is that really the spirit of what that is? Is that the network we want to use? I don't think so, personally.
It's a fine line too, because like you were saying, like with OpenSea being too big or not being big enough to handle everything, like with a lot of this stuff, DAOs that come up and these different protocols that come up, like there's a lot of unforeseen consequences that can occur, and stuff that they're trying to hold big tech accountable for. Like you see the hearings and this and that, and they drag like Jack Dorsey or whoever out in front of the committees, and it's like to the mass public, it's kind of a wake up call to realize like, oh wow, our politicians don't know shit about the internet, and they're trying to regulate it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's rough. But then to that same fact, it's like those types of hearings and pressures on those guys are what stop like trafficking from going on Twitter or sites. It's those type of pressures that like stop that. So when you have a decentralized network, you really need to, and why we say like, oh, community is so important. Like you need to foster a good community. Like you need to build a good community. Otherwise the project could go south real fast. Because who knows who comes onto that network or what the governance is on
one
that.
One of the projects I'm working with a little bit is called BBS Network. Essentially, think of it like a Reddit on the blockchain. Every post is an NFT. You can buy it. You can host your own BBS. They're really trying to stop the shit posting. And it's funny because that's when you remove the barriers, when people are anonymous, shit posting is what happens. And this is what happens a lot in DeFi. That's why there's so many good memes. That's why you see people want to buy the Constitution. Why do they want to buy the Constitution? For the meme. I think it's interesting to see. It's really a social experiment. As much as we want to say the computers are the ones that are doing this and that, but it's really goes back to the community and the social aspect of it. We're really just doing a huge experiment that has a lot of implication on the future of this tech. And to a lot of people, they just don't. They're not there yet, and that's okay. But it will come a time when this stuff is integrated.
It's interesting. It is a community, but a lot of the people in the community, they're also anonymous, right? It's like essentially like something similar to Reddit or 4chan.
Yeah, I mean, there are some projects that are run by semi-anonymous or anonymous people. Being doxxed is very important. I don't invest in projects that are doxxed.
When you're the head of the project, you want to be like everyone has to know who you are in real life.
Yeah.
But you say community, nobody knows who these people really are. Like most of the people are just anonymous.
Reputation is everything, and crypto is a very small space, professionally speaking. Everybody knows, or at least has heard of somebody else. Reputation
There's probably
is important.
also that.
It's weird though, because like there's so many people on like crypto Twitter. I was just talking to a guy the other day, and he's got like his name is like some weird. I think it was like Hitten.eth. He's got like 300,000 followers. I don't know who the hell he was. His profile image was an NFT. And he says he's like a CEO of 12 different companies. And it's like, how do you know who the hell this guy is in real life? You know what I mean? And they have so many followers. So many people obviously trust him and follow him. I saw like he was followed by Obama. But like he was like some made up name with a made up profile picture.
Smoke and mirrors, bro. Yeah. I told you, man, this industry there are a lot of smoke and mirrors. And
maybe it's like an omerta though to the, like if you said who's the Jesus of cryptocurrency, You'd say Satoshi Nakamoto.
Right.
Right.
He knows who the fuck that
who
guy
is
was.
Satoshi Nakamoto?
Hal Finney.
So,
I think it was
like,
multiple people. Though.
If you're in the space and you want to like idolize somebody, you're idolizing somebody who isn't doxed.
Right.
Like so.
There's something to it there's something to that though. Like people that are anonymous, they're more mysterious. When you don't know like where they are or what they look like, it also makes them like, it almost makes them like more of an idol or like a god like figure. You know what I mean?
People can
definitely.
assign who they want. Like you can assign what they look like in your own head based off of nothing else. And this is actually very funny. One of the guys who got exposed, this guy named Beanie Maxi on Twitter. He's had some involvements with other projects that people, I don't really have a side. I just think it's funny. People gotten pissed off at him, and they found out who he was, and now it's just memes of him, and he's like not taking it seriously, because he's like some like white dude who just looks like your average guy, and it's like, oh, that's who you are. You found it. The mask
Just
is
some
slipped.
normal guy.
Now no one cares.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. Like
It is cool.
it's just exciting. Every day is exciting in this space.
Yeah, well, it's like the beginning of the regular internet. When everything was anonymous. There was
Yeah.
message boards. People posted shit anonymously. No one had to worry about it. And then, when everyone had to become, you had to enter your social security number to have an account on Twitter. Then they start selling your data, and it just becomes more corrupt.
But it's a fun time, man. And also, I think this is the best space for anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur to build in. You can build in I'm very bullish on the creator economy. I'm very bullish on crypto. I'm very bullish on tech. And I think Web3 is a nice merger of a lot of these. And I think it's the best space for anyone to build in who wants to do something great, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially when it comes to like the creator stuff and like the social media stuff, everybody in the creator side of things complains about how the tech companies like to censor everything you're talking about.
It happened to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was almost banned. They did a whole CNBC article on this.
Really?
Yeah, I was almost banned. It wasn't just me. Everyone was getting heat. And you know why? It was because the assholes were pumping garbage coins like SafeMoon. Garbage project. You know the guy originally
Didn't
in
the
SafeMoon?
Barstool guy promote that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Dude, the original guy was like off the back of a cereal box on their website before they changed it. SafeMoon was a scam that got too big to fail almost, and they had to take it legit, in my opinion, allegedly.
So what happened to you? What did you do? Post a video?
You just TikTok was banning us.
Oh, well, TikTok bans everybody.
No, yeah, but it was specific to crypto. All the crypto. It was a huge article. Like 12 different people were in there. It was, but I think they figured out like who's legit now because one of the marketing heads at TikTok follows me now, and so they don't ban my posts anymore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet. One day I woke up, I had gotten permanently banned for 24 hours, and I wake up and never again was there a video down. So I don't know who the TikTok gods are, but thank you for not.
You got
banning
blessed.
me. Yeah.
I remember being in my office and him calling me, going, "Hey, bro, I think I just got banned." And I was like, and this was at a point where he was the only creator that we had under the Kryptonite brand, and we were launching a new product in our Discord. Like we had just launched the price, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's all crumbling at this moment." I was like, he goes, "Yeah, man, I don't know what we're gonna do."
Yeah, man, it's not comforting having the future of your business reliant on these social media networks.
No.
Especially
rough.
when they ban you for everything.
But social media is the single most powerful tool for businesses now,
For sure.
like hands down.
TikTok's still very underrated. You guys should be posting clips to TikTok.
Can you pull up this guy's TikTok? What's your TikTok name?
The blockchain boy on TikTok?
Blockchain boy. Oh, wow, that was quick.
Damn,
Holy
Austin's
shit, Austin,
fucking
you're on it.
that shit.
Damn,
Adam.
500,000 followers on TikTok.
Doesn't mean anything.
6 million likes. Great.
Damn.
Followers don't mean shit on TikTok.
Really?
No. The only thing that matters on TikTok is your content good? It'll be seen. You don't make. You know how much money I make from the Creator Fund? I think maybe $1,000 a month.
On TikTok?
And I rack in tens of millions of views on TikTok, and I rack in that very low number.
What makes a video good on TikTok?
You have to learn how to engage people. You have to learn how to grab attention. There's a certain way to make TikTok content.
Have you ever made a video to the chicken and macaroni dance?
No, I can't say I have. I'll make one for you if you want it.
Will you?
Yeah.
Do you know what song I'm talking about?
I have
Yep.
no idea.
I won't sing it for the sake of not getting clipped, but yeah, I do. But yeah, I've been taking a break from posting because I'm moving. But like,
So you just find the popular songs or the popular trending songs on TikTok, and you make a video to that song, right?
sort of. I mean, you know,
Okay.
you have to hop on trends, but you know that's not going to build a community. You have to offer value to people. You have to create that engaging content that's going to bring people back. What are you offering them? It's not like, oh, what are you selling them? Are you providing value? Are you educating? Are you being funny? Are you like, you know, causing an emotion in people, whether that's positive or negative?
Interesting.
You have to learn how to communicate effectively and do it in 60 seconds. And that's the hardest part. But I've gotten pretty good at it, you know? Like, I think...
Sound like it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
The craft has been slowly evolving.
So when the fuck is Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these cryptos going to come back to what they were 2 weeks ago, a month ago?
That is a very open-ended question because they're tied to the stock market right now.
They are tied to the stock market. Why is that?
Because think of it like this, like where's the liquidity for the stock market coming from the, you know, the money printing, and that liquidity in the stock market's going crazy, and that provides other funds to invest in crypto, and crypto is seen as a speculative risky asset. So it's like the stock market like did a line of crack. And yeah, so crypto will mirror almost sort of like the movements of what the stock market does, but there'll be a time when it's decoupled from the stock market.
You
eventually.
think?
Yeah.
Even with all the regulation and they're talking about with the Biden trying to regulate it and all that shit in the news about it, and
dude,
actually-
Biden couldn't regulate, you know, two damp socks. As I don't think they understand it enough to regulate it, and that's what scares me, honestly.
Probably, and you're probably right. I disagree a little bit. I think that we'll see a good comeback this year in crypto. I do think we'll start seeing those higher highs this year before we go into an entire bear market, if you will. But I think that crypto, you know, the reason it tracks it is because so many of the big boys are now here. You know, like so much big money is now in crypto. It's like it's no longer a question. People are like, when's the institution? When the institutional money is in crypto now, and it's still growing. But for the most part, like I think crypto single-handedly this time around saved our economy from going into complete despair back in 2020. Like I really do believe that that's why we started seeing that run up in crypto, and where people are like, how are we gonna start trading things when you had like something like 2020 happen. You know, I mean, having a new asset class, and it's happened before. Like it happened in the 1970s. It happened before like mortgages and real estate were like collateralized and being sold around everywhere. We were going into an economic collapse, and they were like, well, let's just create a new financial industry. And they were like, so we'll take mortgages and we'll start trading them like stocks. And then a whole housing market of products came out and people started trading. This is obviously a much grander scale.
Right.
But I think that there was a lot of behind the scenes going, hey, cryptocurrency could save the economy. We could run this out a little bit more.
And also, back in 2017, the retailers controlled the market. Now, retail market is only 30% of the volume, if that. It's the institutions, it's the bots, it's the whales, and they're manipulating it. I mean, they will manipulate it as much as they can. It's very easy to do, and they will continue to do so until, I guess, regulations come in, and then you know the J.P. Morgans, the official boys step in. Although some of them are, I think
they're
they're
already
modeling.
stepping in. I mean, even with the reports, even when I was leaving, like they weren't really talking about it. I mean, there was whispers around it, but now they're like full on in their company reports. They have whole crypto sections like for financial advisors, for all that. Like they brief on how to talk to your clients about cryptocurrencies.
How would the government regulating it affect it? What would it change?
Fiat gateways. That means exchanges.
No more anonymous exchanges.
Well, no, that's basically dead. Coinbase reports to the IRS.
Okay.
And anonymous exchanges, I mean, they're already going after Uniswap. This is already,
Okay.
they're already looking into that. Honestly, I think as much shit as I give Ripple and XRP, you know, I think that they're doing us a favor by keeping the SEC occupied because I think they're going to come after Binance. Binance is next up, man. Binance is next up. Binance did a lot for the space, man. I remember trading BNB at $5. they did a lot for the space. They hopped in and went. They didn't really care about the regulations. They just did what they were going to do, made a bunch of money, and now they're the king of the space. The government don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Derivatives markets have been closing ever since the first of this year across multiple countries from Binance. There's only a little sus activity going on. The derivatives markets really power the crypto prices, a lot of these fluctuations up and down. People getting liquidated, longs and shorts. And, you know, we're seeing this kind of happen. Another thing is I'm worried about is Tether a little bit. You know, Tether FUD's been around for a while. I don't trust them. I don't hold a lot of Tether if I can help it. We'll see. But I think 2022 is going to be quite rocky, in my opinion. I'm a little more, not bearish, but I'm more like, okay, let's see what they're going to do with the regulations. Let's see, you know, what projects they're going to come after. And I'm sure it's going to have a cascading effect on the rest of us before we can actually see the industry start to grow in a more professional manner.
Yeah, I don't like guessing, and I'm not always right, which is why I decided to create a bot company in the beginning. Because I was like, I'm gonna let smarter people build something to handle this off a set of protocols.
And it kicks ass.
It does.
Yeah.
We've
It
been
kicks
testing
ass.
it. We've been testing it now for, I think, 3 months, and we did an alpha test with like a small group of people, and it got a 90% hit rate, which means 90% of the time it was accurate, which is way more than I am. So I was super happy about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's good times.
Tells you, basically what it does is it'll break down a ton of different coins, and it'll tell you when to get in and out of them, and for the most profit, you know.
Huh.
So
I had a guy
it's
make
like
300% in one trade, some crazy shit, because he was just like, we told people like, hey, you don't have to trade. No, like, this is just for you to reference, like, to see if you like it or not. Guy was doing 100x leverage. They wouldn't let me in the chat. I wanted to come say hi, you know, but no.
we wouldn't let him in.
I'm a bit of a.
That was
We
a
don't want
hard
you in there
decision.
TikToking on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a hard decision.
No, it wasn't.
You and Jackson Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be clear, we're not the brains behind the bot.
Oh
Like,
God, no.
absolutely not.
Smart guy. Actually, we met on TikTok. All the people that I've met on TikTok are people that work with me now. You know, that's how we found them. You know, Crypto Wendia was one of the first people I ever met. She's massive, done massive things. One of the best female voices in the space. An example, I think, for women who want to get into crypto Web3. I think they should really check her content out because she's been through a lot. Like,
She's the best.
the
crypto
misogyny in the
creator.
space, man, like, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Like, being a woman in
Misogyny?
crypto. Dude, you think like being a girl on the internet is tough? Imagine people who are chronically online, who are oftentimes like deprived of social interaction, and who have a bunch of money harassing women. Like, it's a problem. I'm not gonna lie. After like talking to Wendy, she's done a lot. She's been through a lot, so I respect her a lot. And she came on the team. We're very close with her. Shout out to Crypto Wendia. You know, we've also got Crypto Weatherman who built the bot. We had a discussion about TA. I was like, man, TA's horseshit. It's astrology for men. He's like, no.
TA?
Technical analysis.
Technical analysis.
Okay.
I'm like, these people drawing lines on charts.
Using
this
words
and
I don't
that.
understand.
No. He sat me down. He's like, let me teach you TA. So we hopped in a Zoom call. 5 minutes into the Zoom call, I knew I was going to ask him to come work for us. Like, his brain is amazing, and so is his personality. And you put that together, you get a really kick-ass guy who can do some cool shit. And so he built the algorithm for this bot, literally scrapes news sites and social media to see if it's bullish or bearish. No one else is doing that.
Yeah, the
Crazy.
bot has some really cool functionality, and I knew the second I met Crypto Weatherman, I was like, this is great. I need to introduce you to my partner. My partner's a data scientist. This guy's like level 10 genius, amazing. And we put them in a room together, and it was just like magic. And then 3 months later, and a ton of dev work, and now we have some working signals that we can actually put out there and help people trade and hopefully not lose a lot of money.
I got to talk about Josh. Our last creator is Joshua Jake, who's out here helping us run up this media company. He designed our studio. One of the smartest guys I've ever met when it comes to researching stuff. So that's our dream team.
Hands down.
He's got 2 first names.
Joshua
Yeah.
Jake.
I like him already.
I
Sounds
met
like a
him-
sick team.
I met him in Miami. We went out one night. We shared a hookah, and I showed him that business letter that I wrote to one of my now business partners, and I showed him that, and he was like, "Yep, I'm in." He's like, He's like, you don't want to know how this is gonna work? He's like, nope. He's like,
Nice.
I'm down. And then a month later, he moved from San Diego to Orlando.
I remember.
And we're building out the studio.
We were in my hotel room in Miami at 4 a.m. I was writing a diss track to somebody that I was feuding with at the time. He's
Crypto diss track.
Crypto.
Yeah, crypto diss track. It's on SoundCloud. You want to look it up?
Pull it up.
Pull it up. Oh,
Pull up
it might
this
be
kid's
copyrighted.
SoundCloud,
It might be copyrighted.
Pull up the
case.
SoundCloud. I'll dispute
yeah,
it.
so this was at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. in Miami, and Josh was there hyping me up. He was drunk as hell. Ended up getting food poisoning. We had to like drag him into the car. We got Cuban food in the morning. Dude was like vomiting on the side of the road from like this horrible bug. Yeah.
It was bad.
Where'd you get it?
Oh god, they went to some fucking food truck. I stayed at the hotel. I was pooped. I was
In Miami?
Yeah. This was for Bitcoin 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We hit a lot of spots in Miami. It was a good time.
Miami is like the crypto capital of the world.
I was there in 2019 when they unveiled the Bitcoin Center in Miami. The mayor cut.
Yeah.
I was right next to the mayor. I have a video of him cutting the rope, and I knew from that point.
You were right next to it?
I took like from me and the guy back there with the cameras. That's how far it was. It was like that moment I knew Miami was going to be on the spot. There was no going back. Crazy
Yeah.
shit.
Dude, I just saw a video the other day of this dude in Miami. He looks like a young guy, and he was like walking through his house. He owns some house on the water, and it's just full of NFTs everywhere.
Makes sense.
You know what
I
I'm
saw
talking about?
that.
Makes total
His name's
sense.
like Pierre. He's like a French guy.
Is he on Twitter? I think I might have seen a
He's on
clip
Twitter.
from his house on Twitter.
It was on Vice's YouTube channel.
It was a clip from Vice on Twitter. Someone had retweeted.
Okay.
But I saw dude. Miami is like the golden like crypto kingdom. I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
My favorite artist is down there. You know,
Who?
his name is Sergey. You know, he's got a lot of like Bitcoin artwork. I saw him in 2018. First crypto conference I went to, nobody was there. 2018. Same conference hall in 2021.
Were you at the one in Miami down there in 2018?
Blockchain Shift,
No, it was.
North American Bitcoin Conference.
That was a different one.
Yeah, there's too many conferences.
Have you ever bought
There's so
anything
many.
on Silk Road?
No, but I did meet Ross Ulbricht's mom.
Yeah, I had her on here too.
Yeah, she was a very nice woman,
Very
and
nice
I'd love to reconnect with her because we were on Skype, and I was like trying to, help her out, but I was like 17, so I didn't have shit. But now I have a platform, and she just wants her son home, and
Isn't it crazy the sentence that kid got?
they made an example.
Quadruple the sentence of El
It was
Chapo.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Or double El Chapo sentence.
Yeah.
Something insane.
It's a little sad, man, But this is what happens when you have people who are kind of figureheads, and they want to crack down on it,
The kingpin charge
Yeah.
for some kid that just created some eBay for crypto eBay.
It goes back to that whole like unintended consequences of what you're building.
Yeah.
And then people start using it for nefarious acts, and you're like, but it's with everything. It's like people are like, oh, cryptocurrency, like, isn't that, what people use to buy drugs? I remember somebody told me that at a bar one time, and it was a buddy of mine. I was like, bro, you smoke pot, right? He's like, yeah. It's like, what'd you pay your dealer in? It's like cash. Like, yeah. The cash is used for nefarious things, like any medium of exchange is, so it's ridiculous. The same thing happened with who Burner is?
Yes. He's the guy.
like the drug dealer to the
Burner.
Cookies guy?
The cookies guy.
cookies. Yeah.
Yeah.
So luckily he was rich enough at the time and probably connected enough, but he had like an absolute fiasco of a launch of some social network that he launched, and it was like the social network without censorship. And the whole thing like immediately blew up, and he was probably facing the same sort of charges because now he had this like free social network with no moderation, and immediately was like drugs, sex trafficking, just like the worst of the worst type
Nazi
stuff.
memes.
All that. And it was like he got out of it, but like he probably would have been facing a lot of the stuff
That's so crazy though. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the craziest thing that you make these people responsible for the users of the platform.
right.
Well, like, they walked so that we could run. They did the hard things, even like Charlie Shrem.
Yeah.
This is another example of that.
Shout out Charlie Shrem.
Yeah. Like, these are the innovators that, have paid the price for innovating, in my opinion.
What happened to Charlie Shrem? He lives in Sarasota, I think.
Yeah, awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He was like one of the first crypto exchanges in the world.
Yeah.
And they ended up doing like crazy volume. And because of I think it was because of the Silk Road stuff. This was years ago. I was before my time. I was like 12.
They got him on a not having a money transfer license.
Yeah.
It was something like that, and it was over something ridiculous that he, when it was brought to his attention, he took action too. Like there was no reason for him to get pinched like that. It was completely messed up, and and then obviously you're that was at a time where it was like the equivalent of trading like tokens on a video game. You know what I mean? Like, and they're like, well, you don't have a money transfer license, so jail.
How long did he spend in jail? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
It wasn't that long. I think he got out like pretty quickly.
Okay.
But it was still like
They made a whole documentary about it, I think.
Yeah. It's been years since I like researched his case, but we've had a few interactions briefly.
But he's definitely, I would consider, he's absolutely a crypto OG.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about like crypto OGs like Charlie Schramm, Eric Voorhees, like a lot of those guys.
Winklevoss twins, man.
Yeah,
Mark Zuckerberg made off with his bag, but they got theirs too, man.
Yeah, like these are.
Yeah,
like,
their story is crazy, right? They were in like Mallorca or Ibiza or something when they learned about Bitcoin or something, and they had just got paid their first $1 billion, and they put all of it into crypto.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. Imagine if it went the other way, They'd probably be serving us fries at the drive-thru.
Yeah.
But hey, man,
that's the crazy thing about it, though. I mean, you don't know where it's going to go, and you set you buy an NFT today for $100,000, it could be worth $150,000 tomorrow, and then you sell it, make $50,000, but then 2 weeks later it's worth fucking $1 million, and then you'd be like, God damn it!
But are you mad? You
yeah,
still made
kind
money.
of.
Still made money.
Yeah, but you're still mad.
But
you just got to find the next one.
Yeah.
It comes down to conviction.
So many opportunities.
It's just like betting.
Yeah.
It's just like sports betting.
There's a lot
everything
to
in
it.
life is a bet.
There's a lot to that.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me in my comment section, do you gamble? We have a story about that. But and I'm like, no.
You don't.
I'm like, no, I don't gamble. I gamble for a living. You just have to have the conviction and belief in this technology and the projects that you choose. That's really what it is. Like, you have to believe.
You got to stick to it. You can't just dip your toe in and expect to win.
I mean, you can. You can dollar cost average into Bitcoin and have your nice, 2-3x gains over time. However you want to do that, in my opinion. No financial advice. I always got to say that.
No, you don't.
I like to say it.
I've told you this too. Like everybody's hung up on like financial advice and like.
I don't want to sound like a dick. Someone's
What-
gonna.
yeah,
So
everybody
many creators
says-
go, "This is not financial advice," and like give a whole disclaimer.
What are they worried about?
So it's one, you only have to worry about that if you are an actual financial advisor and you're registered, and two, if you're blanketing it on media to people, it doesn't matter. You can literally tell people buy Bitcoin. That's it. Like, but if you're telling it to a blanketed audience and it's not personalized to a single person, it's not financial advice.
I think it's just one of those things where like they saw somebody do it and then everyone just copied
Everybody
them.
does it.
They don't know
does
why they do
it's
it.
My
They
biggest pet peeve.
Well, also it's like you don't want to be that guy, that's like, this cryptocurrency is going to this price and it's going to happen, and I'm certain of this. I have my inside sources, this and that, and it doesn't happen, and you look like a jackass in front of everybody. Because,
Is that what Richard Hart does?
No.
Okay.
But this is just like some of the stuff in the crypto scene, like everyone's always talking about going to the moon and this and that. I like to, like I said before, bringing it back, I like to do realistic outcomes and expectations, because it's not all sunshine and roses. It's not a rose garden for y'all. It's trial by fire, dude. You're gonna come in here, you're gonna get your ass handed to you probably, but it's the only way you're gonna learn. It's the price of your education.
Too many people try to jump in and just want to get rich overnight, and it's like, I have buddies who like come to me and they're like, I want to trade NFTs, and I'm like, you should not be trading NFTs.
No.
Like start with like small investments.
Dude, you can make, but if you have the money to buy one of those apes, you can make so much money flipping them.
So the way
pretty much every single ape that's for sale, you can look at. It was bought 20 days earlier for like $50,000 less.
Well, you don't even need that
Yeah.
much money. You can
That's
flip
true.
NFTs for a couple $100, man.
much
Pull up the
so
Invisible
many.
Friends. Like the Invisible Friends right now,
Uh-huh.
huge. I think it's going to be a blue chip right off the bat. I
Really?
was looking today to get whitelist
On OpenSea?
Just look up Invisible Friends NFT. It's not
Okay.
out yet.
Okay.
'Cause
It's not out yet.
You can
Yeah.
tell when these NFTs are coming and when they're going to do well, just by like being in the space. You'll know. The Invisible Friends, I think, are 7 to 9 Ethereum floor price when they drop.
Really?
7 to 9 Ethereum.
Oh, those are kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
7 to 9 ETH is
That's
my
super
prediction.
dope. Are they animated like this?
Yeah.
Are you whitelisted?
Oh, no. So you can actually get whitelisted if you buy...
Those are sick.
You have to have 4 NFTs from the previous collections of this artist. And it costs, and it's like $28,000. So I'm sitting here, I'm looking right now, and I'm like, do I want to spend 28 grand to get,
whitelisted?
To get whitelisted. But like, dude, the rare ones of these, holy shit.
I mean, so if you get whitelisted, you buy 4 of his previous NFTs, you get one of these for free?
No, you get the opportunity to pay for one.
Opportunity to
And they're going to start at what?
Oh, I don't know what the price is for these. I was looking at them this morning. They're not like overly expensive.
They're dope. If all of them are animated like these rotating, like these looping GIFs, that would be
they are.
super sick.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And like, dude, it's impossible to get one. The public sale will be over in a quarter of a second, and it's gonna go to the people who pay 30 grand in gas
It's like
fees.
the hate beasts.
30 grand in gas fees?
It's front running each other. Whoever's got the most money to burn wins. You basically a front run competition. These things, I want you to go back and look at them. 7 to 9 ETH is my thoughts.
It's like hate beasts.
Yeah.
Hate beast drop 7 to 9 ETH floor instantly. Everybody knew it, and everybody was trying to get in on that whitelist, and they couldn't.
What are those worth?
7 to 9.
I think
ETH.
about
Still?
there.
Yep.
Well, they started at 6. They got to 7 pretty quickly, and that was uncommon for an NFT project like that. Usually after reveal, the floor prices tank, but they
To give you an idea, that their Discord, I think was 400,000. It was like 400,000 people in their Discord. That's 4 times the size of ours.
Yeah.
For one project, right?
That's not even out, by the way.
Oh, my
And
God.
only 8,000 items. So you had 400,000 people competing for 8,000 items.
And
My friend bought a couple of those, the serums, the beaker with the,
oh shit.
Yeah.
like 4 days ago. On Friday, I think it was. He bought one of them for 16 ETH, the other one for like 25 ETH. Now the one he bought for 16 ETH 4 days later is selling for like 31 ETH.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the M3 serum.
No, the M1. He bought he bought 2 M1s and 2 M2s, and they're both double what he paid for 4 days ago.
Yeah, it's because the mutant.
That's
apes are going
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the mutant apes. I had an opportunity to buy a mutant ape for 3 ETH.
Yeah,
I was with Alex
same.
in
We were
New York
together
City.
in the car. We were in the car. Me, you, and Alex, and that Jamaican guy who was like talking about God,
man.
and Alex was just not shutting up.
We had one friend who's like definitely a bleeding atheist, and then our cab driver.
We're in Little Haiti, by the way.
We're in
Little
Haiti.
Haiti.
Cab driver who was like full on about Jesus.
Yeah.
And they just
And they were
went
having a podcast.
Yeah, they were chopping
Cute.
it up, man.
Oh,
Yeah, and he's
man.
like, as he's speeding away, he's talking to me because
My
I was the
buddy's
last
never
one.
been to New York before. I'm like,
No.
bro. I was like, I'm not trying to get killed on the way to dinner. Like, shut the fuck up. Dude.
Oh, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, he was
Dude,
like,
New York's a wild place like that.
Yeah, man. It is. We had some fun times up there.
give him the gift of Jesus.
Yeah.
That was the last time I saw him. Gone.
Wow.
Painful.
We've had some good times, man. Like, we do a lot of traveling. We're going to Vegas soon for another
Yep.
thing we're doing.
And then we got NFT LA. We have CoinDesk and Consensus.
Yeah, we're partnered with
in
CoinDesk.
Austin.
Do you spend any time in the VR metaverse?
Yeah, so, I just bought an Oculus. And so did you.
Yeah.
We both have Oculuses
Got one
now.
right there.
Makes me sick.
Really?
My tummy
Do
hurts
you have
when I'm
Beat
in
Saber
there.
on there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best game.
That's
Beat
the only
Saber's-
game I can play with that.
The
gets
Star
sick.
Wars game is badass.
Star
too.
Wars is really good.
I almost threw up
The
from
fucking
that
really
lightsaber
good.
is so it's like
Yeah.
it's incredible, dude. Yeah, you feel it in your hand. You're like fucking
So good.
killing the
So
robots
good.
and shit.
What about Creed? Have you downloaded Creed? It's a
No.
boxing. It's with like
no.
and you got like Sylvester Stallone in there as like your
Really?
coach. Yeah, and you just
That's
it's
sick.
great.
I
Yeah.
gotta get that one.
Yeah, it's good.
I have an interesting story about kind of the metaverse stuff. So there's this guy on TikTok I follow.
A lot of people spend a lot of time in that, like
Yeah.
every single day, hanging out in there.
You're already online chronically, like most people. Like you scrolling Twitter when you're
Right.
taking a deuce, whatever. You're doing this and that. But like our lives are almost. I spend more time online than I do in person, and the metaverse is a natural extension of that. the Fortnite, Fortnite, the big concert.
Yeah, we play all the time.
Marshmello and the Travis Scott. Fortnite is a glimpse into what will be the norm in a couple decades, if not sooner than that. Probably
those
sooner.
emotes that you buy and the outfits that are like NFTs, kind of, except everybody can buy them.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But like, the Fortnite concept is more than a game. It's like this live event service. Like you can have these things in there, and everything is. There's some paywalls to it, but it's still pretty cool. And I think that's kind of like what we're going into. It's interesting companies are looking into this. The guy I follow on TikTok, he has a school in the metaverse in Sandbox. And you can get into his school, his NFT school, by purchasing a virtual jacket that you can wear in the metaverse. I forget his name, damn it. But he had a Pepsi executive in his school who bought one of his jackets. A Pepsi executive at Pepsi.
Oh god, he's probably a fucking pedophile. It's like, you hear the story about the guy from PlayStation?
What?
Do you hear the story about the guy who works at PlayStation? No. Holy fuck, bro. He was on Grindr trying to get like a 15-year-old boy to come to his house. Kid went to his house, freaking videotaped the whole thing. The guy went down hard. Find that article.
Holy shit, that got dark fucking quick.
Pedophile, the pedophile executive at PlayStation.
From PlayStation.
Dude, some of those people are fucked.
Jesus, that's why I'm an Xbox guy.
Yeah, I just bought a PS5. I've never had any, PS5. I just gave him my 360. I literally like.
All right, wait. Why'd you give me the 360?
So you can play Guitar Hero.
Most flame game ever made.
Yeah, you should see this man shred.
Oh God, Guitar Hero. Got Guitar Hero 3, 5. That's what we do in the office when there's some downtime. Rip some Guitar Hero.
Rip something
Nothing
else,
better.
Mm-hmm. It's a good time. It's a good time in there.
So what is the sandbox? What is that sandbox? Like, can you explain what sandbox is?
There's a few metaverses. Sandbox. Think of sandbox like Minecraft metaverse, right? Like that's the easiest way to think about it.
Minecraft metaverse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like everything's blocky, and you can have like plots of land, and you can build shit in there too. Mm-hmm. I was an early investor into Victoria VR. Have you heard of that one? Mm-mm. It's a metaverse company. They're doing some pretty cool stuff. They just had their land sale going on. And Victoria VR, that was the last big metaverse project to blow up. That was insane. That was some good returns on that one. So that was like my biggest metaverse bag. There's also, of course, like Decentralized and a few other places, like other metaverses. And a lot of them are sort of, we actually interviewed Network, which, is another metaverse company. Before any of this happened, it was like one of our first interviews.
Network, yeah.
I had the opportunity to buy $30,000 of metaverse land. And I was like, this is weird. I don't know if I want to commit $30K to this. I should have done it because it ended up selling for like 10x.
Those are the painful ones.
$300,000 for some property in the metaverse.
Yeah, something like that. Man, it's just.
Do you own
crazy.
any metaverse real estate now?
I do.
Really?
I bought a plot of land in Nebraska, 2 plots of land in Nebraska, in this thing called Eartha. And Earth is like, think of it like an alternate reality where Earth has been through this terrible disaster. And it's a game, and you can have resources in your tiles. I got jack shit because what the fuck is in Nebraska? Like, get the fuck out of here. I bought the premium shit, and you gave me Nebraska.
How much did you pay for it?
Oh, I think I paid like $1,000 for the 2.
Wow.
I'm not sure how much I could flip it for right now. I should check because I also invested into the coin, and they did really well too. That was like another big project. But I made some money from the coin, and I think I could sell my land for at least what I paid for it. Maybe more.
That's insane. This is the article about the PlayStation guy. Former Sony PlayStation exec under investigation after appearing in a pedo sting video. Yeah, so the kid was trying to sting him.
The logo.
And he was wearing...
That's so fucked up.
If you watch the video, he literally opens the front door of his house. He's wearing that. He's like in his boxers and a PS5 shirt. Oh, yeah, here's the video.
I mean,
Turn the volume down.
He sort of looks like the type. I'm not going to be too much of a dick.
Just fast forward through all this bullshit. This is probably going to be like...
This B-roll.
There you go. Keep going.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
Holy shit.
This isn't it. I don't know what the fuck all this is.
A lot of B-roll.
This is a bunch of bullshit. This is not even it.
I thought they had the fucking cops like a Chris Hansen type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Patrick Bateman type.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, it was a pleasure.
We got deep.
Yeah.
We went deep.
Yeah, we did.
There's
What,
a lot to cover.
Tell everyone listening and watching where they can find your guys' websites, your guys' social media, all that jazz.
Kryptonite.io. That would be the website.
Check us out, Kryptonite.io, on TikTok at the Blockchain Boy. All of our Kryptonite creators can be found through our website. Come join our Discord community, hang out with us. We're about to relaunch some of the stuff, working on some free educational resources. I got my man Diego working on that. But this was great. I've been a fan of the podcast for a while. Like
Really?
I said,
Thanks, man.
Yeah, since
thanks
you were
for
working
coming.
with Ben in the original.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
that's how you originally found it.
Yeah, because I was in high school. I was
like most people.
a big,
Yeah.
a big real estate. I love real estate too. I want to get.
A lot of
into
people
that.
love real estate.
So
A lot of people are attracted to rich people online.
yeah. Well, I would say it's not about that. It's just about.
It is about that though. It is. A lot of people they're attracted to wealthy type people who show it, and they make social media accounts, and then it's people just you're attracted to it because that's what you want. You
He was a character.
Dan
That's why I liked
Bilzerian
him.
Oh, yeah, he
lifestyle,
was. Yeah.
right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Everybody wanted to be Dan B.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did it. He did it right. That's for sure.
Then he mic dropped and was
It
like,
just
I'm
wasn't
out.
the same.
Stop posting.
Yeah, but I followed.
He went
you
to
into
school
the
like
podcast
20 minutes from here. He went to
Really?
Admiral Farragut, the high school he went to. Yeah, he got
Really?
kicked out for bringing a gun to school.
Yeah, I can see that. That makes total sense. Wow.
Yeah, he pulled up in his car and pulled his AK out of his trunk and he was showing it off to somebody. And I guess he didn't know it was
Illegal.
He didn't
too.
intend on doing anything bad. I think he was just showing it off.
Yeah.
And then he got kicked out.
Wild.
Good times. Well, thanks for having
Yeah,
us, man.
man.
This has been
Thank you
cool.
so
It's
much.
our first real podcast appearance. So
Is it really?
pop the
Oh,
cherry
yeah.
with you guys.
I'm
man.
honored.
Nice,
I'm honored to
man.
pop the
Yeah.
cherry.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you got to come back.
Anytime.
Love to.
For
Anytime
sure.
you guys want to talk crypto.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We can
Yeah.
do dedicated stuff too. This was a general overview. I could talk for hours until your face is blue.
Fuck yeah. We'll do it. All right. Well, cool. Thanks, boys. I appreciate it.
Thanks
Thanks,
guys.
guys.